Most engines don't fail simply because they're old. They fail due to a few silent mistakes that destroy them long before the mileage ever does. Today, we're covering 7 habits that don't just prevent that damage, they make your engine run like new again. Number 7. Screw clamps beat wire clamps. After installing a brand new $30 air duct, everything fits perfectly, and for a while, the engine feels great. Then 90 days later, the rough idle comes back, and the leak is right where the clamp sits. The rubber is chewed through. Now, what's the problem here? Well, the factory wire clamp that you reuse. And this same cycle plays out on F-150s, Civics, Escapes, and almost everything on the road. Wire clamps squeeze in one tiny spot. Under vibration and heat, the rubber slowly extrudes, tears, and leaks. On the other hand, screw clamps don't do that. They spread the force evenly across the entire hose, so nothing pinches and nothing deforms. The seal stays intact for years, but people use the wrong size, crush the rubber too hard, or buy cheap steel that rusts and fails. So, if you do it wrong, the fix doesn't last. However, the fix is simple and permanent. Once you switch to a proper stainless screw clamp, the problem finally stops for good. Choose a clamp whose inside diameter fits your hose snugly, not loosely, and tighten it just until the rubber compresses evenly finger tight, then about a quarter turn more. That's all it takes. This one small change protects air ducts, PCV hoses, brake booster lines, and valve cover connections at the same time. Do this once, and the annoying vacuum leaks that keep coming back simply don't. Your engine stays sealed, stable, and smooth for years instead of months. Number 6. Road test after every repair. When you finally fix the vacuum leak, the engine sounds smooth, idle is clean, check engine light is gone, and you're already feeling proud of yourself. Yet, in just a short time, the same P0171 code comes right back. Same car, same problem, different mood. But there's the part that no one talks about, that most engine repairs don't actually fail because the part was wrong. They fail because the final step was skipped. And there is a scary truth as well. Modern engines are a web of connected systems. Fixing one leak can uncover another that diagnostics won't show until the car is parked. PCV valves, brake booster hoses, throttle body gaskets, they all interact under load, heat, and motion. A simple 20-minute drive reveals more than most scanners ever will. But what exact drive pattern exposes hidden problems before they come back to haunt you? This is where the difference between a temporary fix and a permanent one is made. After every engine repair, take a structured road test. Let the engine idle for 3 minutes. Cruise around 2,500 RPM for 10 minutes. Do a hard highway merge, and finish with a strong stop. Then rescan the system. If no code comes back, the engine is sealed properly. And for a quick extra check, remember that idle vacuum should stay steady around 17 to 21 inches. Dealerships often charge over $150 for a diagnostic recheck that is literally this same 20-minute drive. When you do it yourself, you don't just save money, you lock in a repair that actually lasts. Number 5. Oil changes every 6 to 12 months. It sounds boring because they're normal. Every engine needs them. Every driver knows that. And yet, this is the one thing most people delay the longest. The problem is, oil doesn't wait for your schedule. Cars that barely move, garage queens, weekend drivers, work trucks, all of them suffer when oil sits too long. Time hurts engines just as much as miles. However, oil dies by the calendar, not the odometer. Even if your car hasn't moved, oxidation, fuel vapor, and moisture slowly poison the oil. Sludge forms while the engine is literally parked. Modern synthetic oil may last longer, but even the best oil breaks down after about a year. So what really kills low-mileage engines faster than high-mileage ones? See, changing your oil every 6 to 12 months keeps the inside of your engine clean, quiet, and protected. Fresh oil cushions moving parts, prevents seals from drying out, and stops sludge before it can form. It lets the engine start smoother, run cooler, and stay strong for years longer. After a fresh change, a short highway drive helps burn off trapped moisture and fuel vapor, letting the new oil work at full strength. Sometimes, engines with low miles often fail earlier than high-mileage highway cars. Sitting oil becomes poison. Time, not distance, is what quietly destroys engines. Number 4. Coolant system flush. Cooling systems decide whether an engine lives a long life or dies an expensive death. Overheating is the fastest way to destroy an engine, and one blown head gasket can cost more than the car itself. Meanwhile, the fix that prevents it usually costs less than a tank of gas. And most importantly, coolant expires. Yes, after about 5 years, coolant turns acidic and starts eating aluminum inside the engine, clogging radiators with brown sludge, weakening hoses, and grinding water pumps toward failure. So, what can you do to avoid becoming the owner whose pump fails at 80,000 miles and whose repair bill nearly ends the car? First things first. Flushing the coolant every 2 to 5 years keeps temperatures stable, protects metal surfaces, and prevents internal corrosion. When the system is fresh and clean, the engine runs cooler, the heater works instantly, and the water pump lasts far longer. During the flush, you need to refill with the correct 50-50 coolant mix, then remove trapped air, and restore proper pressure throughout the system. A healthy cooling system is invisible when it's working, without overheating or scary temperature spikes. And this is the real win, because this one simple service prevents thousands of dollars in engine damage long before any warning lights appear. Number 3. Clean air filter equals MPG plus power. Just picture a highway pass where the car suddenly doesn't respond. The throttle feels flat, power fades, and the MPG drops 2 full points. Yet nothing on the dashboard warns you. On dusty roads, F-150 airboxes slowly fill with fine dirt, and in city driving, oil performance filters quietly coat the MAF sensor. The engine is being choked, and you don't feel it until it's already costing you. A clogged air filter doesn't just restrict airflow, it creates lean misfires and carbon buildup that wear the engine faster. People usually squeeze the filter, see nothing obvious, and keep driving, while a simple $15 paper filter could restore lost power instantly. But which filter actually gives you total throttle response, better MPG, and real engine protection? At this point, replacing the air filter every 12 to 15,000 miles, or every 8,000 in dusty areas, immediately restores airflow, combustion balance, and throttle sharpness. High-quality OEM paper filters consistently outperform oiled reusables over time, which often contaminate the MAF sensor and reduce efficiency. And with the same service, a quick MAF cleaning with isopropyl alcohol removes hidden oil residue and stabilizes fuel trims. As a result, in testing, 0 to 60 improves by about 0.3 of a second after nothing more than a clean filter and MAF service. One of the simplest jobs on the car quietly delivers one of the biggest performance gains. Number 2. Cold start right. Cold starts cause more engine wear than any other movement in driving. At freezing temperatures, oil thickens, pumps move nearly 10 times slower, and metal surfaces make contact before lubrication arrives. That's how bearing surfaces score, piston rings wear, and compression drops long before mileage ever gets high. Many F-150 and Civic engines suffer their worst damage during the first few seconds after startup, not on the highway. Most engine damage happens in the first minute after startup, when oil is thick and metal parts are still dry. Revving too early can steal years from your engine, but idling too long can also cause damage. That's why a precise warm-up pattern is important. But are you using the one that actually protects your engine? And if not, don't worry, I got you. First, start the engine and let it idle for about 60 seconds, just long enough for the oil pressure to settle. Then, begin driving gently, keeping the throttle light, around 1500 RPM for the next 30 seconds. You want the oil pressure rising smoothly, not jumping around, and in very cold weather, a block heater helps by warming the oil before you even turn the key. As you continue driving, keep your shifts below 2000 RPM until the engine reaches normal temperature. This calm warm-up protects your piston rings, cylinder walls, and bearings from serious cold damage. Engines treated this way stay tight, keep strong compression, and avoid the kind of wear that leads to early rebuilds. Number 1. Hairdryer makes rubber play nice. At the very top of the list is a trick that solves more engine problems than almost any tool ever could. New intake ducts that refuse to slide into places, PCV elbows that snap under pressure, brake booster hoses that feel like plastic. It's the reason even good mechanics give up and quote hundreds in labor. No model escapes hardened rubber. And yet, all of this comes down to one surprising question. What if a simple household tool could make stubborn rubber install in seconds, work on every hose and gasket in your engine, and restore factory-fresh flexibility just by using the right temperature, timing, and technique? This is where everything changes. About 30 seconds of heat from a hairdryer, held roughly 6 inches away, is enough to soften stubborn rubber until it becomes flexible, smooth, and easy to work with. After that, add a light coat of soapy water, and the part slides into place without tearing, stretching, or cracking. Once the rubber cools, it tightens back up and seals perfectly, just like factory fresh. There will be no broken fittings, wasted parts, and never a dealer telling you it won't fit. This simple method works across the entire engine bay, from intake hoses and PCV lines to valve covers, turbo piping, and even transmission hoses. If you use this with good aftermarket parts, even jobs that once felt impossible become quick, clean, and permanent. So, what do you think? Which of these habits surprised you the most, and which one will you start using today? Tell us in the comments. If this changed how you look at your car, wait until you see what really happens when new cars don't sell. This video pulls back the curtain on dealership secrets most buyers never hear about.